Welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good day in the market. We just had a green day, kind of fought our way back towards the end of the day. NVAX was up a little bit during the market time. Did have earnings today after hours, so we're going to talk about that a little bit in our video here. So we're going to jump over there to take a look at our portfolio in just a second, but we'll talk about the earnings in a little bit more detail. So let's go ahead and jump over and take a look at that now. You can see here that we did have a green day across the board. So let's talk about some of those real quick. You see Moderna was up, had a good day here, up about 1.5%. NVAX actually outdid Moderna day as far as percentage goes. And that's a good thing. We need it to. Need to gain some ground on that one. You see here, we did have a big day in Bitcoin too. You can check it out here. It's still going up. This is really awesome. So we like that. HUT was doing pretty good during the day. So green across the board, but we're going to mainly focus on NVAX tonight and go ahead and take a look at that. Jump in there and take a look, see what's going on in after hours. You see here we are down in after hours. We did have earnings. Not sure really what's driving the earnings down. I listened to the call. Everything sounded pretty good. I was really pleased with what I heard. But the only thing I guess that could be driving this thing down is the actual earnings. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Over here on the side, you can see here there was an expectation of $1.80 loss as far as earnings go, but it was actually ended up being $11 and something. But that has to do with all the money that they've been spending for the production of things, and all that money they had to spend to get all this flow going of the vaccine. So that's actually good news. We're going to talk about that a little bit. So let's just go ahead and take a look at this real quick, kind of give you an idea. You see here, we did have last year, we had $280 million in total revenue. And this year we had $222 million in revenue. Because we really didn't do a whole lot in the fourth quarter. So the revenue is really going to pick up this year. So here's what we had total revenue for the year, $476 million. And what we're going to have this year projected of 2021 full year was actually not projected. This is the actuals, $1.1 billion. So that's a very good increase as far as revenues go. You can see here we did have quite a bit of revenue. You can get the details on where that revenue came from on the call and on the slideshow. If you go to the company website, you'll see that. Go to the investors, and then you can find these slide presentations. But here's a good one here. They ended with a strong cash position of $1.5 billion. So that's awesome. Still got a lot of cash. And here's the details of all that. You can see here's that 11.18 versus the 1.80. But again, most of that came from these expenses from operations and things like that you see here. So that doesn't surprise me a bit. And here's what I did like in the call. And this is what I was really hoping we'd see. And they did give some guidance. It was not a quarterly guidance, but it is a 2022 guidance, where we had $1.1 billion last year. They're projecting $4 billion to $5 billion this year. So that's a big deal right there. That's 4 or 5 times more than what we have. So we're very undervalued as far as the share price goes right now. So I think it's just a lack of understanding on some of the stuff why it's dropping. Check the volume. There was not that much volume going on, maybe 500,000 shares in the after hours. So I don't feel like there's anything major going on there. This thing tracks the market, something fierce. You can just watch the NASDAQ and the NVAX is tracking it big time. So I'm going to watch for that tomorrow. We're going to watch after hours tonight, see if it recoups anything. we did make a trade today. Made a pretty good trade. I think I bought at 80 and sold at, I believe it was 81. So made a few bucks, enough to stay home for the week. So that's all good. And we've got another trade in there this after hours. We're going to have to wait and see how that one comes out. Might have pulled the trigger a little bit too early on that, but that's what happens sometimes when things get exciting in after hours. So we'll see how that goes. But I think it's good. I mean, everything's good as far as where we're at on NVAX right now. But the big thing was as far as their cost of things next year, a lot of that was taken on the chin in this last quarter. So their cost is going to be less than it was the previous quarter. So we can expect some good things coming from that. I'm kind of glad they went ahead and took it on the chin, and we'll see how that goes the next quarter. The cost will not be near as high as that. We might actually have some. They were talking about margins on the call, and some of the things they talked about was they might actually have some times that it's zero cost as far as the vaccine, but it's usually about $3 to $5 a share of what it costs to make it, and they sell it from anywhere from a few dollars a share to these poor countries, and to up to, I think I've seen $20, $25, $26 to some other places, but we'll see how that goes. But everything sounded great on the call to me. I was pleased with what I heard, and so you know, as far as the revenues go, that's what I was waiting for. Oh, one more thing on the revenue, and this is what's so big. That was a 4 to 5 billion estimate. Now, what that does not include, if I understood it correctly, and I believe I did, that does not include the revenue that we will get from some of those outstanding approvals that we've got out there, such as the U.S. and Japan. So that would be a lot more revenue coming in that has not been counted yet. So that's huge. That's huge. We'll see how that goes. But I'm not disappointed at all. I don't know who watched that and would be disappointed, but it's looks like a good thing to me. And so we'll just go from there, and we'll just see how it does. It is holding up pretty decent in the after hours right now, as you can see here, holding up pretty decent. Again, the volume was nothing great. I think this is just a lot of people that, expect something to go up each day, or, but again, no big volume. The volume today was low as well. You can see here on the chart, we did have some ups and downs during the day. That's why I went ahead and traded it once. Could have made it a lot better. I got it down here around 80, and I sold as soon as it hit around 81. And then, see, it did close pretty strong. I could have made a lot more money. But you never know. So sometimes you just take that money. I mean, if it's worth your day, you go ahead and take it, and that's what we did. Now, this thing in after hours, they were up as much as $9 to $10 an hour at one point. I didn't buy at that level, but I did buy higher than here. So we'll actually, I think I got in around 82 in after hours. So I'll have to sell. If I sell that one, it would be at 83 or 84, and it was there today. So I really don't expect it to do much more than whatever this market does, but we'll see. But everything, all the questions were answered. I liked what I heard. Again, it was a good day for NVAX, a good day for a portfolio. Everything was all good today, so I'm happy with how things went. And but let's just take a quick look at that Bitcoin again too while we're at it, because that thing is absolutely nuts today. It's almost up 16%. That's amazing. So keep your eye on that one. Let's see what HUT's happening. HUT should be going up in after hours based on that, and it is. So that's good. But you can see it's tracking Bitcoin too. You look at that, that's about 11, that's 12%. It's not quite as high as Bitcoin, but it's going to track Bitcoin, had normal volume today. So that's the one to keep your eye on too. I don't know what's driving the Bitcoin. A lot of this war stuff may be driving it. I don't know. But we've got some of that. We've got some Bitcoin. We've got some HUT, some Ethereum and Solana is the other two I hold as far as cryptos go. But you'll see headlines like this: Novavax revenues fall short, but management expects a surge. So you're going to see some different kind of headlines on Novavax. Just keep your eye on that. What I'm looking for on Novavax uh, to keep it going or to make it pop is going to be, of course, any of these approvals that they've got hanging out there will probably help. If it's a good market day, that won't hurt. We've seen several things come in. As long as the market's down, it doesn't really help Novavax at all. Uh, but I think the U.S. approval is probably going to be a little bit different. Maybe we'll see. But watch for that. Watch for either upgrades or downgrades. It just depends what the analysts think. They ask some good questions. One of the questions they talked about was share buybacks, and Stan pretty much said there will not be any this coming year. And I'm all good with that. I'd rather them invest that money in the company than just giving it back to shareholders. Let's get it invested in the company, grow the company. We're on the right track. We're heading in the right direction. Everything's good. We've got time, so let's keep this thing moving like we're going. They built a manufacturing machine. I mean, 2 billion doses is what they're saying they can produce, so that's awesome. Um, Everything's good. I really did. I mean, I would have much rather seen it go up in after hours, but it didn't. But we'll see what it does pre-market. We'll see what it does tomorrow. The war's still out there, so that's causing some issues. Anytime that market went down today, so did Novavax. So we're kind of at the mercy of what's going on overseas right now. So, but as far as the company goes, the company is not broke. Okay, the company's in good shape, and that's a good thing. So we're going to keep an eye on that, and just keep our fingers crossed that some things will turn around in the market, and we'll be good to go. But I feel comfortable where we're at. I'm glad we're holding the shares we are, and I think we're pretty good. I don't think anything major is going to happen tomorrow, but I could be wrong. But we'll check back in with you later on in the week. Please click this button and subscribe if you haven't done that. I appreciate that. But we'll check back with you towards the end of the week, possibly Friday night sometime, okay? All right. Well, have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.